the last 6 episodes, you've learned many new skills. You now know how to properly light your Brickfilm. You know how to efficiently use a camera and what cameras are best. You know where to get Legos at good prices and how to organize those Legos efficiently. But now, in this, the final episode of my Brickfilm tutorial series, you are going to learn perhaps the most important phase of all. We are finally at the final phase of making our Brickfilm, the editing. So, now I will show you my definition of the 3 types of editing. Here we have audio editing, frame editing, and video editing. And there are various softwares that will help you accomplish anything you need to do. So, let's look at frame editing first. These 4 programs are what I mostly use to do my frame editing. Paint, Monkey Jam, Movie Maker, and GIMP. These 2 can put the pictures together to make a movie, and these 2 can edit those pictures to make special effects, which we'll see. But first, let's start with Movie Maker. As you can see here, all I have is a basic walking scene. My figure, Gandalf in this case, merely takes a step forward. I've shown you how to do this before, but now we have to make it into a decent looking video clip. So, you're going to want to hit Ctrl-A. That will select all your pictures. Then go to Edit, Duration, and change it to whatever looks good. For me and walking scenes, I prefer 0.08. Like that. Now, it'll look something like this. Now, that looks a little fast, so to make it look, well, more watchable, we can make the beginning and end frame a minute long. Now look. There, that's better. And then, essentially, you would do that for all the frames, adjusting the frame rate as you go along. Some scenes might need a faster frame rate, and others might need a very slow frame rate. So, just use your best judgment to figure it all out. Alright, Paint and Monkey Jam are somewhat self-explanatory, but I'm going to talk to you about GIMP, which is a free photo editing software. It's similar to Photoshop. Well, you'll see what it can do in a second. Essentially, everything, all your jumping and flying and all this stuff that has minifigures not supported by anything but air, you're gonna need to edit the picture for that to work. Or use, yes, invisible string, but that doesn't always work. So, here we go. We're gonna open up layers. And I already have these 2 pictures selected here, so I'm gonna show you what I want to do with them. Now, I want him, this guy right here, floating above the grass. But to do that, we need to get rid of this. Now, we can't just get rid of it now, or else it'll be nothing but white behind it. So we need to replace what we erase here with a background image. Hold on. There's our background image. So, I'll show you the process for how to make this like we want. First of all, and you cannot forget this or it will not work, you're going to want to right-click, select Tools, wait, where is it? No, select Layer, Transparency, Add Alpha Channel. You'll see the importance of this later on. Now, what I like to do, there are many erasing tools, but I prefer to use, let's see here, this one. This one lets you really finely cut out what you want. So, make sure this is selected, and I'm going to actually change the zoom on this so I can get a better look at it so I don't screw anything up. So, I will see you in a second. Now, once you have your entire figure selected, all you need to do is hit Select, Invert, and then hit Delete. And voila! I'm just going to show you Select None. There. Now, I know it's a little rough around the edges. That's because I kind of sped through this, but, yep, and now it looks like he's pretty much floating. I mean, depending on how well you do your background scene and how well you crop it, it will have different looks, and you can move him around, like, depending on what your subject is. He could be just barely floating off the ground here, he can be all the way up here, or even, let me find the proper tool, yes, you can rotate him so he's going a certain direction. If you're doing like a Superman style flying, then that's what this would be good for. So, yep, that's all I have for GIMP. Alright, so we've covered frame editing. Now we have to cover audio editing. Now you must remember that in a Brickfilm, since it's just a bunch of pictures, it doesn't make its own sound, so you have to find sound effects from online. This is my library of sound effects, and you might recognize some from my past Brickfilms. Now I'll show you where I find most of them. Alright, so I keep the main ones up here somewhere. Here's one. Find sounds. That's an okay one. There's a lot of crap there, but you'll also find a few good ones here and there. Let's see. Sound Dogs, it's pretty good. It has a lot of specialized sound effects, so odds are if you search for something, they'll have it, but some of them are really not good quality. But I like to use it every once in a while. Sound Bible has a very limited supply of sound effects, but they're all reasonably high quality. Freesound.org is okay, but you have to make your own account. But after that, there's a lot of good sound effects. This one, sweetsoundeffects.com, I don't really use, but you can check that out. And if all of the above fail, then you could just do a free search. Let's say we're looking for a guy screaming sound effect free. You can see I've already searched this, but anyway. Alright, so Sound Bible is here. Sound Dogs are here. I'm sure a few other ones I've talked about are down here, but let's go to one we haven't talked about. SoundJ.com. Alright, and as you can see, they have a lot of man screaming sound effects. Anyway, let's see what one sounds like. Ah! Beautiful. So that's pretty good, and you can download them in various forms. I prefer MP3 because it's somewhat universal in various programs, and I'm pretty sure that it won't be unusable in anything. But you can use WAV if you really want to. Alright, so sound effects from the internet are great and all, but what if you need to edit your sound effects? Maybe you want to sound like Darth Vader or something. Well, then there's no better audio editing software to use than Audacity. Now, Audacity is a very good audio software that you can download for free on the internet. Alright, so I just recorded my voice there. Let's see what it sounds like. Now, Audacity is a very good Alright, so there's a lot of effects I can apply to this, or I can cut parts of it off, but let's not do that yet. So, if I want to sound like I'm older or have a deeper voice, then we can adjust a lot of things here, but let's look at pitch. Alright, so if I want to sound like some guy who's been taking, I don't know, steroids, then let's do this.
Now, Audacity is a very good audio software that you...
Yeah, I wish I sounded like that, but let's look at some other ones. So I'm gonna undo that. I love to just play around with this. I can't show you everything now, but just, experiment. Like, let's see. Change the speed. I get to sound like a chipmunk. No, not quite, but let's see.
Now, Audacity is a very good audio software that...
Oh god, I'm never listening to that again. But you get my point. You can do a lot of things with Audacity, and you can really polish over your audio to make a much better final product. Here's an example of a Darth Vader test I made in Audacity.
Luke, I am your father.
I hope you could hear that, but regardless, it's a very, very powerful and free software, and I highly recommend it. Look no further, don't spend any money on audio editing, because this, right here, is the program for you. Alright, so it's time to talk about the third phase of editing, which is video editing. Now, I use AVS Video Editor, and while it served me well, I wouldn't recommend it because it's rather glitchy, and it was just a low-priced option for me, and it's worked so far, but you might want more advanced editors or something that's more suitable to your situation or your financial whatever. Whatever works for you. So just do a free search on Google, find some top 10 lists. Now, I wish I could show you footage of how to use all the various programs that are out there for video editing, but I just don't have them all, and the ones I have you probably won't end up using. So what I have to say is this: use your best judgment. I have the utmost faith in your ability to utilize any tools that you download, so just have a blast with it. That's the advice I have for that. And with that, we've gone through the 3 phases of Brickfilm editing. Well, that's it. That's the end of my Brickfilm tutorial series. I've had a lot of fun making this, and I hope you've enjoyed it and learned a lot from it. And if you make your own brick films and you were helped by my tutorial, great! Let me know in the comments and I'll check that out. Also, don't worry, I will be replacing this series with a new series, which will mainly be displaying my own LEGO custom models, and that'll be pretty cool. I enjoy making them, and I hope you enjoy looking at them. So, with nothing else to say now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and rate to help my channel grow. And until next time, build on.